results in plastic that you can find all around us is that plastic is laying around and it takes over thousands of years to degrade.
We, inspired by people around the internet and around the world, are trying to find a cure, as they would call it, for plastic not being able to biodegrade as quickly. And we found that there were two different bacteria that put together in a nature-like environment with nature-like temperatures. They actually biodegrade plastic within a course of 3 months.
Our solution to this problem around the world, this plastic laying around everywhere, is to create a new type of bacteria. But our findings is if there is a negative or positive effect to this bacteria.
So here we have what is obviously a very sketchy model, just made out of a shoebox. Same right here. But inside it just demonstrates it's an okay life-like demonstration of plastic and what would happen if the biodegradable plastic bacteria was put onto the plastic. Now typically, it will take about a couple thousand years, maybe not at all, for plastic to biodegrade. But with this bacteria, it will take about 3 months for it to biodegrade. Alright, so right here, what I did with my model, my extremely complex shoebox model, what I did was I take plastic to the sides of the wall, I put dirt inside, just kind of give you a little bit of a visual demonstration of what would happen to the plastic over time. So if you look closely, you'll notice that right here, the plastic is normal looking, obviously. Right here, the plastic is starting to biodegrade, and typically it will develop a yellowish tint over time, and it will the effects would be visual. And right here, the plastic starts to decrease inside because it's being biodegraded or eaten up by the little critters that are eating it, aka bacteria. And as you can see, I use a lighter to kind of help give a demonstration of what would happen.
We found it says that plastic in landfills decompose quicker than an open environment.
So there are two types of bacteria that actually help with this process. The bacteria's name, it's very hard to pronounce, but I believe it's Pseudomonas and Springomonas. It's also very hard to spell too. And so Pseudomonas is actually a bacteria that's found in hospitals, only hospitals, because that's a suitable type of environment for it, and it causes illnesses in some people, not all, but it's debated over whether or not it's harmful when put to biodegrading with Springomonas.
But wait, there's questions we need to ask too. The question we were asked is, will this harm the human/nature environment? And the answer is, the combination of this bacteria should not harm the environment. The question we were asked was, how will we create this bacteria? And the answer to that question was, we created this bacteria off of the solutions and conclusions of the scientists' experiments based on plastic degrading.
One con of the bacteria's effect in the future is that obviously people will be more dependent on the bacteria, which basically means they'll be lazier and they won't bother to throw away their trash. And we can see an increase in the amount of plastic around us and trash in general, but maybe a decrease over time in the amount of plastic in our environment because this bacteria will obviously biodegrade stuff within 3 months.
Some people say, how will this affect grocery stores and other products with plastic? And the answer to that question is that it will only work in open environments such as inside the street or in the woods, not in stores or anything, so it won't hurt people and the economy.